Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you, closing out my budget for the month of November. It is early to close it out, but some things are happening, and as far as transactions go, right now all I'm doing is tracking the spending. So I can kind of navigate that a little easier if I close out the month of November and get ready to go into December. I do have the videos ready, and they are already on YouTube, scheduled to come out later this week and the beginning of next month. So I have my monthly budget ready to go, and then I have my paycheck one budget ready to go. So I'm excited about that. A whole new month, whole new design. It's going to be great. I love it. And it's, candles and Christmas theme. I'll show you what it looks like here. I love it. I think it's really, really pretty. It's very bright and vibrant, and I thought that would be something great to have after spending some times in this beautiful, and I still love, pumpkin and fall and reds and brown colors, or peachy brown colors. So that is what we're doing. I'm going to close out week 4 of the weekly check-in, and then I'm going to close out paycheck 2, and that will close out our budget for the month. Now, the balance left over, the money that is going to be sitting in that in the checking account, is going to carry me through until December 1st because I am closing things out so early. So today is Tuesday the 22nd of November, and we're just going to close it out. It's just time to do so. And the reason I'm going to do this, normally my husband would get paid on the 30th of every month, but because Thursday is a holiday and something about the banks and the way the processing goes, I'm going to move this over to the 27th. So he's actually getting December's check that I would use here on the 27th, several days earlier than expected. And that's fine. I'm just going to sit on it and let it sit there in the bank and prepare to use that for the month of December. And I've already done those videos, like I said, and that will already be sitting there when December 1st really hits and things start gaining traction of bills being taken out and all the things and stuffs. But as you can see here, all my bills have been checked off, all my income's been checked off. So everything that was supposed to happen as far as that has happened, and we're good to go there. Now, as you can see, with everything happening so much earlier, I still have 4 days before the 1st of the next month, because I do believe December starts on Sunday 1st. There we go. So that's my December. This is my November, and those are just the bills. So I have 4 days that I still need to track if I'm doing any shopping, which I have done holiday shopping already. You're not going to see that until I also do my sinking funds video. I'm going to close that out after I film this video. So those two you'll probably already have the sinking funds video up already, and then this one will go up after that. So we're going to close all of the numbers out because a lot happened in my sinking funds, and if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out. But as I'm waiting for December 1st to happen, the number that we're coming up with today won't be accurate until the end of the month. And that means I'm just going to use what cash is left to cover all 4 of these days, anything that we spend, and then what's left over is going to go to the credit card and pay it down. So what I'll do is next month, when I start my spending tracking, I will go back and show you how much we paid down the credit card and how much we still owe on Christmas. Put everything on the credit card. I have sinking funds that cover it. I went just a smidge over, like not even $50. So we're good. But I've got to figure out how I'm going to make it all track and work and pay for it. So that's kind of where we're at. And I'm also waiting for family. They like to send money for us, for the boys, which my sons are adults, but because they're autistic, they seem younger than what they are. And so they still kind of treat them like kids and send a good amount of money. And when grandparents are happy, I'm happy. So we just let them continue to do that. They don't have to, but they can. I might have a talk with them that they can slow that down if they really wanted to. But I know my dad's love language is giving gifts, so he's going to do it. And it breaks his heart when he can't. So I'm just whatever they want. So that's going to be nice. So when we do next month, I will show you the difference of the end of today and then what the actual ending was, and then how much paid towards our credit card, because we left some of our vacation on there. And that was $1,800, over $1,800. So yeah, we definitely need to stay on top of that as well. I still have to work on my annual budget. I've got the numbers down. I just need to make time to do a video. I have had someone request on how to do stickers, how I do my stickers. I'm not an expert by all means, but I will do a video. It's just going to take me some time, so give me a few weeks on that, and I will show you that. And yeah, I'm excited to get into this and just kind of show you what the closeout looks like. So let's get started. I have written down everything I need here as far as what I've spent. Mostly it was grocery household. Some of it's from Amazon, so I get supplements from Amazon. Sometimes household items are easier to get through Amazon and sometimes cheaper than my own grocery store. And since you get free delivery, it makes sense to send it to the house. And especially if it's something I don't need right away. And just little things like that. One restaurant and one miscellaneous. So a lot happening, but a lot of grocery household. I was catching up on things when I didn't have a car, where I was spending very little because I only had a Jeep, and a Jeep Wrangler does not have much trunk space, I can tell you that. And we were working through our pantry and our freezer. So I filled up and restocked, and that's what the first purchase is with Meyer at Grocery Household. That was $241.91. I just got a bunch of everything. Plenty of meats that we went through that we needed to replenish, that I keep for backup in the freezer, as well as in what for meals we were going to having this week, and not Christmas, but Thanksgiving meals and things like that. Next we have $62.27, and that was an Amazon purchase. I know I ordered some household stuff like bath mats for our bathtubs. They weren't looking so great, and I wanted new ones, and I didn't see anything in the stores I liked, but I did find some on Amazon I really liked, and they were like $15, $14 each. Then I got a couple other things on Amazon. One thing that was important, I think, is this $33.91. This is one order, but it was split in how they charged us this order. This $33.91, we wanted to be able to cover some of the open copper pipes we have in our basement before the weather got too cold. So what happened last year was we had a repair, and the repair burst and flooded our basement. Thankfully, we don't have a lot down in our basement, and it's not a space that we're using as a livable space. It's more of a hobby storage area kind of thing. But it's a good square footage that we could make it into like a mini apartment or a living space or something like that. So we ordered covers for the pipes, and you can cut them to size for the length, and then they split open, and then you can wrap them around. That way, this winter, if we drop in really cold temperatures, again, it won't burst. And we're also thinking about buying insulation panels just to put up on the ceiling and cover everything, because the ceiling is wide open, and it'll definitely make the basement warmer and more usable in the winter and things like that. So we're really excited to get that. So we had the bath mats. Oh, and included with the bath mats, I usually buy any of the Ziploc freezer bags that I use regularly, and the gallon size, quart size, as well as parchment paper that folds out flat. It's folded into sheets. They have a pretty decent price for a box of 4 of those, and I always buy them on Amazon and have them delivered. So that's what I was getting there. And then next I have is today. I just got back from the store not too long ago. I got some extra orange juice. We buy them in the individual little bottles. It just works out easier for my son. Again, autism is one of those weird things. When you find a product that works, you're willing to spill a little bit more just because it works for the person. My youngest son is the only one in the house that drinks orange juice daily. And because he does, he only likes just so much, just a little bit, just enough to wash down either the cereal or biscuits or whatever he's eating that morning for breakfast. And then to take his medicine. That's it. He doesn't really want a whole lot. So we used to get the little cartons, the small cartons that you would get, like if you're my age in middle school or elementary school, we used to get little boxes of milk from the cafeteria on breaks and stuff like that, and lunches. So anyways, they sell orange juice with a straw to do that, and my store stopped carrying that. And I don't want to go hunting different stores to find it. So we came up with a solution with the individual bottles. So I bought some orange juice. I bought individual Milo's teas because that goes in my husband's lunchbox, and it's just easy for him to transport, and he gets his one tea for the day. He has to be careful. He'll drink a lot of tea if he doesn't pay attention. And a couple cases of 4-pack or 24 pack of water. What else did we get? Some bread and just odds and ends stuff that I noticed that we needed, and some stuff that I wanted. So there you go. And that was $67.34. And then my automatic supplement monthly charges came through on Amazon, and that was 3 supplements here. One was $23.82. We take magnesium. Me and my husband both take magnesium before bed, and so I have to make sure we have plenty of that. I also take D3K2 and then a complete gut health supplement. That's my husband's. So those are these 2 right here. One's $10.46 and one is $12.68. So all of these are all the things that we bought that fell under the grocery household category. And now we're going to move on to the restaurant. So we had family night, pizza night, $50.93. And then we had a purchase of $60. My husband did. Optic Planet. I'm not even sure what Optic Planet is, but he confirmed this was his purchase. And I know he got his Christmas. I spent almost $60 for myself here with Erin Condren, and that's kind of my Christmas gift to myself. And my husband has found something he really wanted. And I said, well, I spent $60. Go ahead and spend $60 on yours. And so he did. And yeah, it's a guy thing. He has enough knives. Let's just put it this way. But it was another one. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to find the ones you don't want anymore and pass them along or do something else with them so you don't over collect in this, because he's starting to collect a lot of things, and that kind of is a lot. All right, so I have checked everything off here. Normally I total this up before I move on, but since these were single transactions, I wasn't that worried about it. So let's total up what I had in grocery household and get my calculator ready, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have a total of $452.39. And since I didn't spend nearly as much last week as I normally would have to stay on top of a few things because my car was in the shop for an entire week, we spent more this week to kind of catch up, and it kind of balances out in the end, which works out great. We already know the rest of these, so we're going to come over here to week 4. Now, I know I wasn't going to do a week 5, and I'm still not doing a week 5 for filming, but this week 5 section, I'm going to keep balancing because I will still be spending. Let me get to the calendar again. I still will be spending from the 27th through the 30th, and I have decided, even though this payday got moved to the 27th, I'm going to sit on that money. And whatever's left over what we're going to find out today for the rest of this month will be spent, not a lot, but some. And then I can completely pay the credit card for November. And then whatever's left that I didn't spend out of the next 4 days before the new month, that will go on to December. That will go on to the credit card as a payment to pay down the vacation where we spent money on the vacation. If it didn't make any sense, trust me, it makes sense to me, and hopefully it will make sense to you later. It's just, when you're thinking these things through, sometimes it hurts your brain a little bit. And you just kind of go with the flow. So you have to do what works best for you. And that's what's working for me. So we spent $452.39 for grocery household, $50.93 for restaurants, and $60 for miscellaneous. Nothing on gas. Because my car was in the shop for a week, I didn't drive around and, didn't need the gas. So I probably won't get gas until next month. Copay, still no bills. So we're good to go there, and no unbudgeted. But on my own, and I may flip back and show you, but I'm not going to film it. On my own, I'm going to set this up in the last 4 days. Any transactions I have happen in November is where I'm going to track it right here. And I will track it on the calendar. Even though I have a no spend, that no spend is to tell me right here, right now, this is where I'm ending my month. Not so much that's a no spend that I'm not spending these days. I don't use no spends as a hard line. Hey, I didn't spend that day in these categories, so that looks good, like I had done up here in order to save money. That's not why I do that. I put no spend stickers down so that I know what days I actually spent. I can see trends, and it's a cute way of really reminding myself, okay, I'm going a little too much on the weekends where maybe I normally wouldn't have done, or like I notice every Thursday I'm not spending during my weekly check-in, and then Friday and Saturday starts a new pattern, so forth, so on and so forth. So that's where I get that. And let's grab these totals so I can have a whole new balance for the rest of the last 4 days of November over Thanksgiving holiday. I know I probably haven't said this yet, but happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. I am so thankful and grateful for all of you and your support and the comments and the questions and all the things here on YouTube. You guys are amazing, and it's a beautiful community, and I love you guys so much. So let's go ahead and get these totals. I'm going to close my notebook this way. There we go. And I had $673.23. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. $673.23. There we go. Minus the $452.39. That gives me a balance of $220.84. That's great. And that'll cover for the rest of the week, which is really good. I think this is awesome. Not eating out as much. $191.82. Hopefully this is getting us in training and mindset for the new year. And thinking, oh, we don't have that much to really spend. Oh my gosh, I did not hit the right buttons for my new budget for the new year, which I will hopefully get to very soon with the annual budget. $191.82 minus the $50.93. There we go. I still have $140 left. Might use some of that either later tonight or tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on how I feel later. $139.22 minus $60. And miscellaneous is $79.22. We've been really good not needing to use that. And I keep saying paying off the credit card for vacation. I actually have something else I need to pay off too. So this month I may have to put it towards house and car expenses. When you see the sinking funds, you're going to see that there's just a lot going on there, and I'm negative in a big way in one category. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. Okay, moving on from there. And just repeat the numbers here. 166.89, 127.27, and 0. All right, those are my new beginning balances. Let's take a look on, in total, how much do I have cash-wise sitting in my checking account after these have been paid. Let's see, $220.84 plus the $140.89 plus the $79.22 plus $166.89 and $127.27. So we have $735.11. That's what we got to work with over the next 4 days. If you divide it by 4 days, that's $183 a day. Obviously, we're going to have money left over. How much, I don't know. I'm hoping to be conservative on the spending as time goes by, closer to Thanksgiving and the weekend. Again, some of this may cover some of the cost of a little overspending, and I think it's like $40 or $50 on Christmas for both my sons and my son's birthday. So if you don't know, my oldest son was born on Christmas Eve, and we separate his birthday and Christmas so he gets the full effect of being celebrated, like most other people are, celebrating their own birthday and then Christmas separately. So I always made sure that they're never combined his whole life. And I think we're going to do his like a week early because his grandfather, who lives a couple hours away, is coming and staying with us that week, and week before Christmas, so week before his birthday, and we're going to celebrate a week early. So that's the privilege of being born on Christmas Eve. You get to celebrate it early. You can celebrate all month long. There's so many different ways because everybody feels sorry that you were born the day before Christmas and everybody's celebrating. It's just crazy. So we don't do celebration New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. We celebrate my son's birthday. That is Christmas Eve for us. Okay, so I'm just going to move these numbers over here. Again, this will be off camera. I'm not going to do a fifth week. This is the closeout video, so this is what we're working with. But paycheck 2 is actually when you take these categories here, all the same categories I have on my weekly check-in. I put the total of week 3 and 4 on that. So I have to total these together on how much I spent. So I know 153.40 plus 452.39. The grocery household total would be 605.79. Normally I have all this information written on notes, but today we're going to do it together and we're going to do each category. Normally I just show the first one. So as you can see, you get the same answer if you subtract that number, and I can double check that, as you do compared to what I write here. So if I subtract the 826.63, let's see if it matches. Yep, it's the same number. Obviously I put in different order, so it came out negative, but the number's the same, so I know the answer is correct, and that's the actual. So that works out. Over here, let me get everything on camera here. I'm moving all over the place. 68.35. Trying to get the glare off. There we go. Plus the 50.93. And that's 119.28. That's what we actually spent. All right, the next thing we have is miscellaneous, $65.44 plus the $60, $125.44. All right, and then we have, what's miscellaneous, right? Yeah, gasoline. So gasoline didn't change, copay didn't, and unbudgeted didn't change, so I don't really need to do anything there. So I'm just going to leave those numbers. Oops. Now, I did write 2 checks this month, and yeah. GRS is a plumbing company here, and their plumbers came out. There was, we had our outdoor spigot where our water hose connects, the pipe was burst right there. So we have to, as I said before, we bought covers for it. They came out and fixed that. But when we went down in the basement and saw that, we also noticed the cement cinder block wall, that back wall where our basement is, was moist on the other end where the main water line comes into the house. So this first check is to pay for the first pipe that we knew needed fixing. And then this second check, $775 to the same company, they came out the next week, got an excavator, pulled out one of my shrubs, bushes of hydrangea out of the front of my little window here I sit and film in front of all the time in my bedroom looking out. They had to remove that completely and then dig down far enough to, not too far, but far enough to expose where the main water line comes in into our basement. And that was $775. So I had to write another check. I have depleted our sinking fund savings to barely anything. And we're actually heavily negative in sinking funds. So I wrote 2 checks. I transferred these 2 numbers totaled $1,030. I transferred that cash into our checking account from our money market savings where our sinking funds were. Moved some money around. You'll have to watch that video if you haven't watched it. How did I move the money around in that sinking funds account in order to cover this? I'd say this is a minor emergency. It was $1,000. But on top of it, we also had a vehicle in the shop and work getting done on that. And that wasn't cheap. So I had transferred those funds and not into the checking account, but straight to the credit card because I paid with the credit card. And that was paid through the sinking funds. And yeah, it was just a lot of money coming out. It almost wiped me out. So that's why I have 2 checks here. I wrote them in backwards order. This one was first and that was second, but I forgot to write the other one in. But the money is being taken care of. The checks are paid. The cash was there. And I used my credit card, but I didn't have to leave it on my credit card. I could pay cash for these big ticket items. Now, if I pay any more cash on any more things this year, we've had the siding replaced this year in our house. We've had new insulation blown in the attic spaces. We have 2 car repairs. 2 times we've taken our vehicle in for car repairs, and then which costs, first one was over $3,000, second one was over $1,000, and then these plumbing issues as well. So all of those this year combined, and thankfully this year my husband actually received money that covered the cost of the siding, which was great. If you paid attention back in March, April timeframe when we started doing that, it was amazing that my husband got a bonus from his previous company he worked for and got enough money to pay for everything we needed to get our house new siding. So that was awesome. And so really that wasn't it was about out-of-pocket expense, but it wasn't because the money came in and then went right back out. So that was kind of cool. We didn't get to use it for fun, but that's okay. When I added up all the things we did this year, it was $30,000. It was a very heavy, expensive year, $30,000. So that's just a little bit under my husband's salary with his job, not including his VA or his military retirement or the rent, but just his salary alone that he is making. That's just underneath how much he brings home a year. So we were like, wow, we just used up your whole salary this year paying for all this stuff. It was crazy. It's a crazy year. So I'm thankful and grateful as we're going into Thanksgiving that we were blessed enough to find ways to cover and pay for the things that we needed. And God is completely taking care of us in this way. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's go ahead and get to the numbers. Okay, this is Editing Lisa here, and I have made some mistakes. So I'm going to add this into the video. So if you caught that a minute ago, I found it. I knew what the total was, and I forgot to pre-run a sheet that I already have this laid out and worked out, and I hadn't worked it out before I got on camera. So now that I have it worked out, and I know the new numbers, I had to erase right here. We're going to go through this a little bit more. Also, I made a mistake here in the tithe. I put 10 cents instead of 18 cents, and I adjusted that from 21 cents to 29 cents. So that's already been taken care of. But over here, I just brought these numbers over, and I didn't spend them. This is the actual spending, not the actual budget of how much I have to spend. So that was wrong. And for whatever reason, I only gave myself $559 left at the end of the month, or end of today, and that's not true. So I took those numbers out. I forgot to put and I still put it in the wrong place. It's not the unbudget, it's the copay. We did spend $18.57 in copay this month on prescriptions in total for my family. That's supposed to be 0. See, I'm still making mistakes. So I do apologize for all that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of make this one side and bring my calculator in and go ahead and take care of that. Now this is all the spending. Now I did not tell you back here how much I owe the credit card back, but I did write it down off camera. These three numbers combined is $563.32. So that's what I'm paying the credit card back. And then over here, let's do the actual for all the variable expenses that happened on this side. I'm looking up from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like okay. Better number. This makes more sense. So we have $1,899.08. Hopefully this is going to match the bank account and what I have, because this tells me everything that's happening in the checking account. So I've already accounted for what we've already spent and what I'm going to pay for the credit card by having the actuals here. So I can make that transfer after I get off camera. Now we're going to take the income, $4,056.92, minus the $1,304.29, and then minus the $1,899.08. And that gives me the number I'm looking for. Oh, so we have $853.55. This is what will be sitting in the bank account. This is what I have for the last 4 days of November. So as we go back to the calendar, even though I put no spend stickers on my calendar here, let me kind of fix this a little bit. We're so far back that it drops low on this side, so let's even that out. There we go. And no spend stickers here. As I spend through the week, this is just telling me that no spend, because these aren't going to be counted in the closeout today. And then I will move them or whatever as I put spending and track that with what I have left here in these numbers, the new balance here, and that'll get me the number I actually spent for the rest of the month before I move in next month, and before I make any payment to the credit card to any of our spending, the sinking funds or Christmas stuff, or the car or the home maintenance stuff, and the vacation we went on. There's so many things that I'm tracking, and I'm hoping I'm keeping it on top of it, but yeah. It's so busy this time of year, and it's best to just take a moment and really sit down and carve out time to make sure when you're tracking, you are tracking in a way that makes sense and it flows for you. So even though I'm struggling right now and I'm making mistakes, it's because I didn't pre-do any of this in advance. Normally I work out those kinks before I get on camera, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I have $853.55 for the next few days. I may need $100 or $200 of that. The rest of it is going to, obviously go to any category that I really need to put money towards. Sinking funds is definitely one of them. If you've seen that sinking funds video, I'm negative $600 going into home maintenance, and I really need to get that back in there before more bills start hitting and things like that. So I'm hoping if I took $600 out of this, that leaves me $253. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Instead of pay down the credit card for the vacation, pay down the sinking fund savings by $600 so I can get my home maintenance sinking fund way below. To take it, it's 600 and let me see if I can get to it quickly. $641.95 is what I owe. And so that would leave me an even $200 here. So yeah, if I can get my home maintenance back to zero, that would be amazing with what's left in here. And then make sure Christmas is taken care of, and then go back to paying off the $1,800 I have on the credit card for the vacation that's just sitting there. I'm always paying on the transactions, but there's some stuff sitting there and I'm just running the numbers as I go to make sure I stay on top of it. I have sticky notes everywhere on that, so there's that. But this closes out the budget. We are closed out at $853.55, and that's the balance sitting in there for the last 4 days of November. I'll let you know next month what ended up happening after I get my actuals for the first 2 weeks of December. I'm trying to just keep straight what month it is. And we will go from there. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye. On my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door.